Carolina, so watch out. Some of these storms could also reach severe limits. And as we see for Saturday, we're also looking at the possibility for strong storms around Oklahoma City, stretching through the Tennessee Valley, including maybe just areas north of Memphis and also stretching into the Nashville area. Also, temperatures will be cooling down across New England, and here we go with some rain and snow moving into the Great Lakes by Sunday. Severe weather possibility too across the Ohio Valley. And as we head towards Monday, we're even looking at the possibility of snow in upstate New York and New England. That will continue on into Tuesday, while the southeast will be drying out temporarily, because then we bring back in the rain and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, an area that really does not need all that much rain.
Yeah, and the Dakotas, snow.
Yeah, can you believe it? A lot of wind too. Stay with us. We'll be right back with your local on the 8s.
Your weather today is sponsored by Hawthorne Suites. People who know hotels stay at Hawthorne Suites.
People come to our bed and breakfast for the gardens. Frank and I both have just a love of people and a passion for gardening.
We want to really create a special environment.
We literally have thousands and thousands of flowers. Of course, they always ask where we get them from.
Most of our bulbs, we have like 15,000, came from Walmart.
Oh yeah, it's one-stop shopping for us.
Anything you need to maintain a garden or create a garden.
Every bit of that is high quality at a very, very good price. So you can keep blooming all year long with Walmart.
Introducing the agile all-wheel drive Saturn Vue. At home in almost any environment.
Watch my dark circles, puffiness, and wrinkles disappear instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye does it. It's guaranteed to give you these results instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye Lift.
There is a world that awaits you. Let Herbal Paradise sweep you away.
Hi there. Want the bugs out fast? Call the man. Your Orkin man. At 1-800-800-ORKIN.
John Russell, former CEO, Days Inns, retired. Don Landry, former president, Choice Hotels, retired. Mike Levin, current chairman, Hawthorne Suites, not retired.
Well, someone's got to work around here.
People who know hotels stay at Hawthorne Suites.
Hawthorne Suites. More of what you need when you need it. Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast. Always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently in your area, 71 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. The forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
a nice morning weather-wise over New York City. Today will not be quite as hot as yesterday. Your high will only get to the mid-80s. We'll tell you when the cooler air will return.
The cooler air will not return to Atlanta today. Cool water will be a popular destination with kids frolicking in the fountains. You set a record yesterday of 87 degrees. Today's high will be up there again.
A line of severe storms is moving east of Kansas City right down I-70. We'll detail the severe weather threat coming up later on Your Weather Today for Friday, April 19th.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's Marshall Seese and Heather Tesh with Your Weather Today.
Good morning. It's 7:30 in foggy Boston right now, 6:30 in Dallas. You're watching Your Weather Today. I'm Kelly Cass in for Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Seese. Thanks for joining us this morning. Be careful with that dense fog around Boston this morning. We're going to heat up in the interior sections. Tonight could see some strong thunderstorms.
That's right. And speaking of that, it was a stormy night in the upper Midwest. And in fact, we've been looking at some very strong and severe storms racing through Kansas City this morning.
We're moving right along Interstate 70, and we'll continue to see a rocky day today in that region right along the Ohio River Valley into the northeast later this evening. Got all the details for you. First, we'll take you to the northeast with Kelly.
Yes, it was another very warm day. Maybe folks heading to the beaches once again. We saw a high of 91 in Central Park yesterday. That was not a record, but still well above your average in the low 60s. Philadelphia, 90 degrees for you as well, and we've had quite a hot time of it lately. Check it out this past week. 90 degrees we hit on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we hit 95, and on Thursday, yesterday, again, we hit 90 degrees. So the latest April heat waves we've had have been in 1896, 1990, and 1976. So we call it a heat wave when you have 3 straight days of 90 degrees or better. And that's what we've had in the Philly area. Well, we've also had some wet weather too, thankfully, around Baltimore and Washington, D.C., where we really do need the rain. And more rain is going to be coming in with a cold front that's going to race towards us, and that will bring in some showers and storms. We'll have to watch out here. Some of these storms could be strong with some gusty winds and possibly some hail as well, because there is a lot of cool air coming in behind it, and it's that cool air that you'll be feeling just in time for the weekend. In fact, your Saturday morning, we're going to dry it out for the most part, except for maybe southern New Jersey heading over towards Baltimore and Washington, D.C., still looking at the possibility of a few lingering rain showers. There's the current radar. The past 3 hours showing that line moving over Lake Erie. We do have special marine warnings in effect here, and also moving into Lake Ontario. Some lightning with these showers, and also heading towards Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and Rochester. Here along the Jersey Shore, we've had a little bit of wet weather too, moving away from Atlantic City, experiencing some thick fog out there this morning, and we're also looking at some showers exiting Ocean City, Maryland. Baltimore and Washington, D.C., again, we picked up some rain yesterday in the capital. We picked up about 1/3 of an inch yesterday in D.C., and even more than that in Baltimore, I believe over 1.25 inches. So we're chipping away a little bit at our deficits, but our deficit still for this year, more than 4 inches in Baltimore, more than 5 in Washington, D.C., and Richmond also looking at a significant deficit, especially when you take it back to 2001. So any rain in the Northeast, a welcome sight for those reservoirs and wells. We're at 64 degrees right now in New York City. Still cool behind the backdoor cool front here across eastern New England, where it's only in the 40s in Boston. You only were in the 50s yesterday, but we think that cool front will lift out as a warm front. That'll bring you back up to 71 in Boston. And again, watch out for the stronger storms today from upstate New York back down towards Cincinnati. Still some wet weather lingering from Philly to D.C. on your Saturday. Let's head south now with Marshall.
Yesterday, we did very little to help the drought situation in Charlotte and Greensboro and Atlanta. No rain fell in either of those cities. Indeed, in Charlotte and in Columbia, South Carolina, we've had less than 1/3 of an inch the entire month of April. We did get some rain in Virginia. There were some thunderstorms scattered about South Carolina and South Georgia, but that's about it. And those rainfall totals were not real heavy. We're still running in excess of a 15-inch deficit over the last 2 years. Now, there's a chance along the Carolina coast today for another scattered thunderstorm or two. They're going to be more isolated than they were yesterday, but they'll bring some relief to some folks in the region. Look for a high of 86 in Orlando and about the same in the Tampa-St. Pete area. And as you look to the west, this is where it's very volatile from Oklahoma through Missouri along a frontal boundary that is bringing in some very cold air. We're going to see severe weather fire up later this afternoon. We're dealing with it this morning with a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for portions of Missouri and a severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County and Kansas City, and we'll take you there in just a couple of minutes. First, I want to show you that along the Gulf Coast we have less fog than we've had over the last couple of days, so that's some relief to drivers on Interstate 10. This is the situation where we're going to see thunderstorms developing this afternoon during daytime heating, and we'll find those thunderstorms firing in the same areas on Saturday and on Sunday. And as you head into Kentucky and West Virginia, it's an area that we don't need any more rain. But we're going to get some heavy rainfall amounts in that region over the next couple of days. We had some major problems yesterday in Wisconsin, 5 reports of tornadoes. This is hail you're looking at. Those are hail aggregates the size of tennis balls that fell from some of the thunderstorms that moved through the region yesterday. They are still assessing the damage. Today, conditions are going to be much colder in Wisconsin as this cold air swept through yesterday. Severe weather along the Ohio River Valley once again. This is the situation in Ohio and Indiana this morning. We have some rain and some embedded thunderstorms here. None of these are severe, but they could be later this afternoon. You are going to get a little wet rush hour from Dayton, Ohio to Columbus, Ohio, and in Muncie, Indiana, we've had a little rain this morning, and in Bloomington. By far the most volatile situation in the south is Kansas City. Lee Summit reported almost 1 inch in diameter hail with this cluster of thunderstorms that bowed out and is heading right along Interstate 70 to the east. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Johnson County. That is moving at 40 miles per hour. It's accounting for winds in the 70 and 80 mile per hour range. The upper Midwest, 40 degrees in Minneapolis right now. That's about half of what you were 2 days ago for your high. 63 in Chicago. We'll get to 66 only in Chicago today. That's about average, but Minneapolis, 45 degrees. Going to feel cold. Kelly?
Looking a bit cloudy in St. Louis. Watch out later this morning.
Yeah, the same kind of thunderstorms that are passing through western Missouri will make their way to eastern Missouri. Brace yourself for some stormy weather. In fact, we'll check it out nationwide coming up.
So, Dan, do we have everything we need for this meeting?
It's all right here, sir.
Is your data backup as reliable as it should be?
Don't worry, sir. He told me everything.
Ours is. BrightStore Storage Software from Computer Associates.
So, Kenny, how'd you shave those seconds off your pit stops?
You know, Elliot, once the boys got rid of those spare tires we used a stack or two, the seconds just dropped, man. Check it out. Elliot, nothing burns fat and supercharges your energy level like the world's strongest fat burner. Hey, and speaking of strong, check my new Jackman out.
You guys call that a pit stop? One more time with feeling.
Nothing's faster than Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Need a hand?
Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast, always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently in your area, 70 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Forecast. On Sunday, we'll have temperatures in the high 60s. with thunderstorms. Expect fair skies on Monday and Tuesday.
You can always check out current weather conditions or forecasts at weather.com or America Online, keyword weather.
And in Washington, D.C. yesterday we hit 91 degrees. We missed the record by 4, but it's still going to be very warm today. Look for high temperatures in the upper 80s, maybe not quite the record high of 93. And there will be some late day showers and storms as well.
And that's still a major story today, 20 minutes before the top of the hour. You're watching Your Weather Today. I'm Marshall Seese.
And I'm Kelly Cass, and we're still talking about the heat in the Northeast, running about 15 to 30 degrees above average.
And we're seeing some thunderstorms that are severe in nature this morning along Interstate 70. Later this afternoon from Kentucky through West Virginia into the Northeast, there's a possibility too. So if you're traveling out there today, you could encounter some problems later this afternoon. You are certainly finding them this morning on Interstate 70.
Yeah, and I'm a little concerned that they may disrupt a lot of territory for air travel this afternoon because they'll be covering from New York all the way back into Oklahoma.
Big cities,
so
yeah.
It looks like some of the major hubs may be impacted as we go through this Friday get-home day for a lot of folks. Got your travel plans covered all around the bases, including on a getaway day as we check out the status and let you know what you can expect getting out of US 50 from D.C. to Ocean City, Maryland. To check it out, be a few evening thunderstorms, as well as US 17 from Wilmington to Jacksonville with a few thunderstorms. But a good travel day if you're headed out of Dallas toward the Texas coast around the Galveston area. Again, strong thunderstorms, a possibility, a large area from the northeast to the plain states that could disrupt air travel as well as make it just a little uncomfortable on the roadways as well. If that weren't enough, we have snow in the forecast back out into sections of the Rockies. Airport delays running about 20 minutes out of Chicago O'Hare, and that's for flights that are feeding in just from their immediate east. So it looks like once conditions improve coming through Ohio and western Pennsylvania, they can expect to drop that or expire it in 20 minutes. Meanwhile, along that front, that could be an area for active weather for today. Could make an impact in New York Metro into New York Metro airports, as well as Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, even on back into St. Louis. So we'll keep you posted. You keep it here for the latest. Portland, Maine to Boston, socked in with fog. Drive carefully. Visibility is less than a quarter of a mile. Thunderstorms in Oklahoma and Texas along Interstate 35, and then winter snow from Casper to Cheyenne along Interstate 25. We have thunderstorms right now blasting along Interstate 70 just east of Kansas City. They've cleared pretty much the metro area, but still from around Independence, Oak Grove, and then working its way in towards Warrensburg. Looks like they'll be advancing on in towards Lafayette and Saline County and Pettis County. If not already there, it'll be in there within the hour. East of Indianapolis towards Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati, a few showers and thunder showers pumping up. And also we've had a line move through Detroit earlier this morning, edging in towards Cleveland and Erie, PA. Those are the cells that are causing flights to Chicago. A few problems, up to 20 minutes. Detroit, Minneapolis, and Cleveland thus far in pretty good shape. We hope we can keep them that way. As the front dribbles through, thunderstorms will be in mid-America, including in the gateway to the west for St. Louis. Right now, dealing with 71 degrees. I mean, that's a nice July morning. Here it is April. Looks like 79 later this afternoon with thunderstorms. Again, the thunderstorms creeping eastward. They've cleared the eastern seaboard, developing well off the Jersey coastline and south of Long Island. Also, the cells that were working through Ocean City have now cleared the area. So it looks like an improving picture for much of the east. The airport's in good shape. Even with the fog in Boston, looks like through Newark we'll have to watch for evening problems. Right now through midday, western New York and Ohio seeing the showers and thunderstorms. Pretty quiet right now throughout much of the southeast. We'll keep an eye on Texas and Oklahoma though. Atlanta, a good start to your day. Should be a dry commute. A warm, dry day ahead. And it looks like in the southern areas of Florida in pretty good shape as well. No major airport delays, but we'll keep an eye on it, especially Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. Keep it here as you make your travel plans into the weekend. And don't forget to visit weather.com, click travel for the latest.
Looks like O'Hare is anticipating some ground stops into O'Hare from like the Detroit area and east of there later.
Right, we mentioned that, and in fact, even the thunderstorms around the Cleveland area going on right now near Erie. Once those clear out, I think things will improve dramatically.
Good.
All right, well, we don't want any storms on the beaches, that's for sure.
We'll take you there. Hilton Head Island, if you're heading there, or Myrtle Beach or Nags Head, enjoy some nice weather today. It'd be great to hit the golf ball. Myrtle Beach in 84 degrees, and the beaches look good too. Take the sunblock with you.
That's right, SPF 15 or greater.
Yeah. Dr. Scala has been watching a severe event in Kansas City this morning. John?
Yeah, Marshall, that storm which developed earlier moved through Topeka, brought some wind and some hail, now moves right down I-70 through Kansas City, where there was some great lightning show this morning. Also some reports of winds in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range and 1-inch size hail.
"16 years ago, Honda engineers set out on a dream to create something with unprecedented mobility and feet. Say hello to Osimo, the world's most advanced humanoid robot. Who knows? One day it may be the eyes, ears, and legs for people in need.
Inns and suites, worth checking into.
Thinking about making the switch to Clarinex? Talk to your doctor to see if Clarinex is right for you. Call 1-800-CLARINEX for your 7-day free trial. Experience Clarinex.
Knocks out weeds in 24 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Roundup knocks out weeds in 24 hours.
This Sunday on Atmospheres, find out what it's like to work in the clouds and soar on the winds.
You feel happy and lucky.
Plus, see how this tourist attraction in Switzerland is helping save the environment. Don't miss Atmospheres, Sunday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Weather Channel.
When I heard she had a 10-year-old, I knew what the problem was. That little energy burner is costing her big. An older appliance burns up a lot of energy. She came to the right place. Sears sells the most Energy Star qualified appliances, like the #1 brand Kenmore, that meet the government's high-efficiency Energy Star levels. Washers, refrigerators, air conditioners, and Sears was named Energy Star Partner of the Year by the EPA and Department of Energy 3 years in a row. Take this Kenmore Elite. It uses 66% less energy than a conventional washer. That'll save you. Call today or visit Kenmore.com for this free Kenmore Energy Guide. If every 10-year-old fridge were replaced with a Kenmore Energy Star model, the energy saved would light every home in Chicago for almost 3 years. Save energy and money. It's that simple, for your appliances anyway. Only Sears offers you over 250 Energy Star appliances in one convenient place. Sears, where else?
Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast, always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently in your area, 70 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Forecast for your area. Sunday, we'll have temperatures in the high 60s with thunderstorms. Expect fair skies on Monday and Tuesday.
I'm Christina Abernathy. Tonight on the Weather Channel Evening Edition, while most people remember prom night with fond memories, for one city it was a night of terror. We'll look at a storm that folks in Kansas will never forget. Before you plan your tomorrow, check in with us tonight at 9 on the Weather Channel Evening Edition.
And good Friday morning. Welcome back to your weather today. It's 10 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Marshall Seese. We're going to be dealing with a pretty stormy day today. It's already begun this morning, and we're seeing some thunderstorms firing up now in western Pennsylvania.
And in the wake of those storms, we're looking at cooler temperatures. Just a friendly reminder that, yes, we can still have wintertime temperatures this time of year after experiencing July temperatures recently in the 90s with that southwesterly flow over the land. Well, we had a backdoor front that cooled us down over New England. Now look to the west as another front moves in, and that will bring in some really chilly air. We're talking from above average temperatures to below average temperatures as we head towards the weekend and certainly by the beginning of next week. Boston, we're looking at a foggy morning out there, visibility to about quarter mile or less in some instances, so please be careful traveling this morning. Still that marine layer kind of hanging tough, but temperatures will be able to warm back up into the 70s after only 50s yesterday. In Central Park, we'll be in the mid 80s compared to 91 that you hit yesterday. Could be a couple of rumblers out there over New Jersey. And here in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, looking at another hot day with temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90. Atlanta could be looking at, we'll be flirting with the record high for this state, 88 degrees for our high temperature. In Miami, Florida, head to the beaches, drink lots of water. It's going to be warm. Temperatures in the 80s. And in Chicago, we had a record high yesterday of 89. Today will be in the 60s, and Dallas looking at some stormy weather later today as well. To talk more about the storms that are going right now over the Midwest, here's our storm analyst, Dr. John Scala.
We had an impressive bow echo move from Topeka, Kansas earlier this morning, bringing some very large hail and winds perhaps as high as 80 miles per hour. This moved rapidly east right through the Kansas City, Missouri area. What we're looking at now is the current radar satellite composite, and here's the frontal system that's going to be causing some problems later on today. Notice we have a lot of thunderstorm activity across Indiana, Ohio, and now moving into western Pennsylvania and New York well in advance of the front. Now, I expect to see another round of thunderstorms with the front later on this afternoon as that continues to move east into a relatively unstable air mass. The storm that we are watching very closely this morning is located right here, and this is the one that's been moving through the Kansas City area. This is the last couple of hours. Watch this bow echo, which came through Topeka, Kansas, move right down I-70 at about 50 miles per hour. It continues to bring warnings or prompt warnings earlier for Cass County, now into Lafayette and Johnson counties as well. Oops, Johnson and Lafayette counties located right here. And I'm going to watch this very carefully because sometimes the northern end of these bow echoes can rotate and you can produce a short-lived tornado. So right along I-70, folks, in the next couple of hours, please take care because this storm has the potential for producing some very strong winds, large hail, and you can't rule out an isolated tornado with these things. There's the watch area that I was talking about, located right here. This is valid until 10 o'clock local time. Now let's take a look at the Northeast because we're going to be dealing with storms here throughout the day. No watches in place in the Northeast, but we are seeing some organization across western New York and Pennsylvania. Now, as this activity moves further to the east and begins to encounter some more unstable air, these thunderstorms, in fact, might increase in their intensity. So we're going to be watching the Northeast very carefully, New York, Washington, Philadelphia. Let's take a look at that forecast right now. Here's Marshall.
There's the front along which we'll watch those thunderstorms firing. That low pressure over Oklahoma and Missouri will travel along the front today, and we're going to see some heavy rain from some of the storms. Tomorrow, the focal point will still be that front as it sags southward with strong storms once again, Kansas, Oklahoma, eastward through Kentucky and Tennessee border. On Sunday, look for the same. Also worthy of note on these maps is to the north, light snow is going to be falling over the northern plains as we return to unrealistic weather once again, this one on the cold note. Now, on Monday, look for some rain moving into the northeast, perhaps helping some of the drought conditions there. But temperatures are going to be unseasonably cool instead of unseasonably warm to the north.
New York City, case in point, temperatures still very warm today in the mid-80s, but by the beginning of next week, will only be in the 50s.
There is a rhythm to life. We sleep at night and wake in the morning. It's this sleep cycle that helps keep us in a healthy balance.
But for millions of Americans, sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. While natural sleep is best, Ambien helps you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and wake rested and refreshed, not groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. Patients who abuse prescription sleep aids may become dependent. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. Take Ambien only when you can devote a full 7 to 8 hours to sleep and wake rested and ready to start your day. Talk to your doctor about Ambien. Ambien works like a dream.
Ambien is a proud sponsor of National Sleep Awareness Week.
I love you.
I lost tooth.
I would like to order a small pizza, please.
I felt the baby move. I met someone else.
I think I'm gonna quit.
You're the only person I've told.
It's benign.
They won.
I just started to miss you.
I would like to marry your daughter.
All words are created equal. The power to use them is our right as humans.
I'm frightened.
I need your advice.
But do we really have freedom of speech when some words cost more than others just because it's a certain time of day? Or because they have to travel farther? It's wrong, and it's about to be over. Introducing The Neighborhood, a new nationwide local phone company. Finally, one place where all words are equal, whether you're speaking to someone next door or across the country.
He makes me laugh.
I forgot my lunch.
I got a raise, Ma.
It's time to take back a freedom we never should have been without. The Neighborhood. All words are equal again.
Wherever your decorating ideas come from, this is the place to bring them. The Sherwin-Williams Color Spectacular Sale. For 5 days only, save store-wide. Save 25% on all paints and stains. Save 33% on all in-stock wallpaper and borders. And save 25% on project helpers. Save on everything you need to get your project going. But hurry, sale ends Monday. Ask how? Ask now.
Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Hurry into your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today for savings store-wide.
Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down. Working on the rollbacks, prices going down, down. Working on the rollbacks, whoop, another goes down.
Walmart rollbacks. Working hard to save you even more.
Working,
always.
Working.
The Weather Channel. Live by it. The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this newspaper. Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast, always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently, the temperature is 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Forecast. your extended forecast.
The unseasonably warm temperatures in the upper Midwest fuel a severe weather outbreak in Wisconsin. 5 tornadoes hit the state, knocking down trees and power lines, but fortunately no injuries.
And a bow echo continues to move east rapidly down I-70 with the potential for large hail and damaging wind.
I-70 connects to St. Louis, and we think those thunderstorms could arrive there around midday today. It's muggy right now. We'll tell you who's at risk for severe weather on this edition of Your Weather Today for Friday, April 19th.
Live from the Weather Channel, here's Marshall Seese and Heather Tesh with Your Weather Today.
Good morning. It's 8 o'clock in Tampa, 7 o'clock in Kansas City. You're watching Your Weather Today. I'm Kelly Cass in for Heather Tesh.
And I'm Marshall Seese. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Well, we certainly do have a large area of the country that could see severe weather sometime today.
In fact, that threat of strong storms stretches from North Texas to New England. With the front moving through the Midwest, it's leaving cooler air behind for Chicago and other areas of the Great Lakes that have enjoyed some very warm weather recently. But it's still going to be quite warm in Philadelphia and New York. Here's Kelly with a closer look.
And we had a very warm day again yesterday. Maybe a lot of folks heading to the beaches to cool off once again. We saw 91 degrees in Central Park. I bet those ice cream sales are a little up these days. 90 degrees in Philadelphia, 91 in Washington, D.C. At Newark, New Jersey, we set a record for the day yesterday. Actually, we tied at 93. And we also looked at some very warm temperatures in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where you broke a record of 85. But the cooler temperatures hung in there across New England behind that front. 56, that's it for your high temperature in Boston yesterday. Well, the other bad news about the heat is that the reservoirs are really taking a beating. I mean, we have a lot more evaporation taking place here. The New York City water supply, for instance, is only at about 63.5%, whereas usually this time of the year we're at 97%. This is usually the time of the year when we see all those reservoirs running very high due to the snow melt, of course, and also the springtime precipitation. Speaking of reservoirs in Media, Pennsylvania, the Springtown Reservoir is only at 47% now. Just look at all the brown you're seeing along the edges of this reservoir. It should be at 80% right now, so we should be seeing the water just covering up all that brown ground, and that's not what we're seeing. We'll take whatever precipitation we can get, certainly, and there will be a chance we'll get some rain and even some thunderstorm activity as that next cold front approaches. The only bad side is that some of these storms could be strong. We're talking about strong damaging winds and possibly some large hail, and of course lightning is always a threat with any thunderstorm. And as we head towards Saturday morning, most of the Northeast will be drying out, cooling down, and then we'll be left with some lingering showers here around Baltimore and Washington, D.C. and southern New Jersey. Well, right now we have quite a line of storms forming from western New York through Pennsylvania into Ohio. Let's zoom in for closer inspection here. You can see Jamestown getting a thunderstorm right now down to just east of Youngstown, so take it easy traveling along Interstate 79. Storms also recently rumbled through Buffalo, bringing about wind gusts of about 30 miles per hour from the southwest. And again, any precipitation in this area, a welcome sight. 64 right now in Central Park. You have 46 in Boston. Watch the fog. It's been very thick this morning, reducing visibility down to about a quarter mile or less. And then the other hazard, of course, today, the severe weather shaded in red. That's where we think some of the storms could be quite strong. New York and Philly, you'll probably get the storms overnight tonight, lingering in Washington, D.C. for your Saturday. But look at the cooler temperatures in the 70s as opposed to the 80s and 90s. Let's check on the south now with Mark.
We're going to check the Doppler estimated precipitation totals from yesterday, see if we get any drought relief at all in the mid-Atlantic and the southeast. Very little wave relief for the Piedmont, but there were some scattered thunderstorms that dropped a little bit of rain anyway. But we're running huge deficits, as you know, in excess of 15 inches in these three cities, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Greensboro, and of course cities in the areas, and 3 inches deficit throughout the region also just for this year. In Charlotte and in Greensboro, we've had less than 1/3 of an inch for the entire month of April so far. Severe weather is a threat from Oklahoma northeastward today and into the Ohio River Valley on Saturday and on Sunday. Temperatures south of the front will be near record-breaking proportions once again. Several records fell yesterday. They may again today. We have a lot of moisture in the mid-levels of the atmosphere here. It's going to feel very muggy out there to you as you head out in Houston, Dallas, anywhere along the Gulf Coast. Atlanta, it's also going to feel very muggy to you. Dense fog is built in along the Interstate 10 corridor. This occurred in the last hour. Visibility has just dropped to about 1/4 of a mile thanks to very little in the way of winds and some rapid cooling to the dew point temperature. That fog is going to be a problem now. As you look to the west in Arkansas and Oklahoma and this front, that's going to be moving slowly to the east today, and it'll be the focal point for severe weather through Saturday and on Sunday. And very little in the way of rain from Florida northward to South Georgia. Now, as you look to the upper Midwest, some very cold air has moved in behind the front, and this is the way it looked in Devil's Lake, North Dakota yesterday. Although most of this snow melted when it hit the roadways, it certainly brought about 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the grassy areas, as noted here. Some birds expecting to find some warm weather up there like they found about 4 days ago, but not true today or over the next couple of days. It's in the 20s this morning. Bismarck is 20, Fargo is 24 degrees. That's around Devil's Lake. And then 63 in Chicago. It's not a bad day, but it's going to continue to get cooler over the next several as this front heads to the east. We're going to see the chance for severe weather, including now western Pennsylvania. See how this line is developing? That's going to continue to move east. It's going to put a damper on the rush hour in Pittsburgh this morning, late rush hour anyway. Columbus and Dayton, some rain for you. That'll head toward Zanesville, Ohio. And we have a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for portions of western Kansas. This bow echo is the one that's moving along Interstate 70. The community of Marshall, just to the north in Saline County, is under a threat in the next 15 minutes, and we're looking at wind damage here, 70-mile-per-hour winds associated with that system, and hail 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter. If the car is outside and you're ahead of that storm, pull it under cover. 66 for a high today in Chicago. Kelly?
All right, it's looking a little hazy out there over New York City this morning.
Still a warm day schedule, but I think the temperature trend is going to be headed down after this weekend. We'll talk about all the travel details for you coming up next. Stay with us.
Your weather today is sponsored by Hawthorne Suites. People who know hotels stay at Hawthorne Suites.
Hi, I'm Don Landry, and I'm here at the Hawthorne Suites. This may seem odd, since I'm the former president of Choice Hotels. You know, some people stay here because the suites are really huge. Others stay here because you can start each day with a free hot breakfast. You really want to know why I stay at the Hawthorne Suites? I love these little sausages.
People who know hotels stay at Hawthorne Suites.
Hawthorne Suites. More of what you need when you need it.
Why spend a little more for a John Deere lawn tractor? The same reason you spend a little more time working on your yard. Because at the end of the day, it's worth it. The award-winning John Deere LT Series. Welded frames for durability, professional cut quality, exceptional versatility, and the support of thousands of knowledgeable John Deere professionals nationwide. The John Deere LT Series. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Me and Joan. That's me. Always with a cigarette. I've tried quitting before, but it's hard to give up a friendship that's lasted this long. So this time, I'm quitting with Nicorette.
Taken on a regular schedule, Nicorette helps prevent cravings. And when a strong craving hits, you can always take an extra piece.
I certainly needed the extra piece that day.
You can do it. Nicorette can help.
I look good without a cigarette.
Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast. Always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently in your area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. forecast for your area. On Sunday, we'll have temperatures in the high 60s with thunderstorms. Expect fair skies on Monday and Tuesday.
Weather.com and America Online, keyword weather. Bookmark those on your computer today.
And in St. Louis today, it's not going to be a record for you, but we did see a record yesterday of 93 degrees. Today will be cooler in the 70s, but watch out. There could be some strong showers and storms headed your way.
They're headed out of Kansas City right now across Saline County in Kansas, right along Interstate 70. Thanks for joining us this morning. 10 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm Marshall Seese. You're watching your weather today.
And I'm Kelly Cass. It's going to be a busy Friday. We'll talk about the heat in the east, where we're still about 15 to 30 degrees above average.
Severe weather looks like a line setting up. We've got severe weather potential throughout much of the Northeast today. It's already setting up in western Pennsylvania. Dennis Smith has been watching the travel problems in Kansas City and what we can expect later this afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like it'll cover a widespread area, so that may be a problem for air travel and for road travel. Looks like those storms may be headed into Marshall, Missouri. Can you believe that? Your namesake.
625 this morning, maybe 725.
Yeah, it looks like those storms will continue to rumble on eastward right along Interstate 70. We'll take a look at that. Right now, I want to let you know as it's headed into the weekend, what you can expect is you get away for some events that you may be traveling to. Like, let's say you're going along US 50 from Washington, D.C., heading on out to Ocean City, Maryland. Looks like a few thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. US 17 from Wilmington, North Carolina to Jacksonville, Florida, along the Grand Strand. Well, we'll put in some grand thunderstorms. And Interstate 45 from Dallas to Galveston is looking pretty good as you head to the Texas coast. We'll be monitoring that potential of strong thunderstorms today in your path as you're preparing your day. So please be extra careful and plan accordingly. As we get later in the day, the more organized these storms should be, and the end result is the earlier the better on your planning mechanism for your travel needs. No major airport delays nationwide. We're keeping a close eye on it though for you, keeping you posted and updated. We think the problem areas will be developing along and ahead of this frontal boundary that could impact airports in, let's say, the New York metro area, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, maybe even back to St. Louis. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on as we go through this Friday. I-95 from Portland to Boston, they're thick and fog and drizzle and low clouds. Keep the headlights on low beams. Thunderstorms between Oklahoma City and Dallas along Interstate 35 today, and Interstate 25, Casper to Cheyenne, got a taste of winter on our map in the form of snow. Showers and thunderstorms continue to build up along that frontal boundary, now pouring east of Kansas City, headed towards where Interstate 70 and 65 intersect around Marshall to Sedalia, Missouri. Could lay down a track of heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Columbus, Cincinnati, heading on back down towards Bloomington. Look for some more showers and thunderstorms. And now we're starting to see it lining up in western PA, back to around the Dayton area. Again, gusty winds and heavy downpours may be the order of the day. Chicago, O'Hare, Detroit, Minneapolis, and Cleveland, they check in now with no major airport delays. And I think they'll be in pretty good shape today. We'll have to watch it along that line, though. That front, a sharp contrast. That means some active thunderstorms. Where are those thunderstorms rumbling now? Into western New York and northwest PA. From Niagara Falls to Jamestown to around Youngstown. Be careful for gusty winds on some of those cells. It looks like in the New York City area, they'll have a pretty good day. Shaping up already with sunny. Expect warm conditions today. You'll end up with readings on up into the 80s again today. 85, normal high is about 62. Now late day thunderstorms will be in the offing. We'll check out the airports. They're in fine shape from Boston to Newark. Should remain that way this morning. Late this evening, though, you may have a few problems. And a quick look at the southeast brings some rain into Texas and Arkansas, an area that we'll keep a close eye on as you make your travel plans, because those could kick up to some heavy thunderstorms later on. You know what? Make travel plans in the weekend. Keep it here. We'll keep you updated. And also visit weather.com, click travel for the very latest.
Boy, with some of those storms that are moving into western New York, we're talking about horizontal rain, just right in the face kind of rain.
There will be wind-driven rain. And again, as it gets organized through the day, we're going to have more and more problems at the airport. So we'll keep them posted on what's going on.
Now, some folks are heading to the beaches in the southeast, where it'll be very nice, but to give you an idea of those places you might have frequented in the northeast over the last couple of days when temperatures have been in the 90s, here's your beach forecast.
It's going to be a lot cooler in Cape Cod, that's for sure, with temperatures in the 50s today and 40s over the weekend. Vigorous front bringing in that cold air, and along that front, severe weather. Here's Dr. Scala.
And that front produced severe weather yesterday. 46 reports of hail greater than 1.5 inches. We saw some tremendous lightning in Kansas City this morning with a severe storm which continues to track to the east. We'll look at the severe threat coming right back.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. We still make a lot of noise, only now it's on the phone.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited.
Luckily, I pay one flat rate and we talk to her horse.
$19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any AT&T residential long-distance customer. Call all you want, whenever you want, and never watch the clock.
I love them, but I'm not going to pay a lot to listen to them. Nobody ever did.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
You're cheating heart will make you weak. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. You're cheating heart.
Visit a York dealer near you. It's time to get comfortable.
Brittle nails that break and won't grow? Get Nutrinail. Short brittle nails grow in just 5 to 7 days. Nutrinail. Short brittle nails grow. Guaranteed.
Watch my dark circles, puffiness, and wrinkles disappear instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye does it. It's guaranteed to give you these results instantly. Sudden Change Under Eye Lift.
Perfect. A delicious Denny's Grand Slam breakfast for only $2.99. What could be better?
A homemade breakfast? You used to howl about my cooking.
That was the smoke detector.
The $2.99 Grand Slam deal, only at Denny's.
This Sunday on Atmospheres, find out what it's like to work in the clouds and soar on the winds.
You feel happy and lucky.
Plus, see how this tourist attraction in Switzerland is helping save the environment. Don't miss Atmospheres, Sunday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Weather Channel.
The thing I like the most about the DR chipper is the quality. This is a first-rate, what I would call industrial strength piece of machinery for a private homeowner.
The DR chipper is a wonderful machine. I can put a 20-foot long tree in it. It'll take the whole thing without bogging down.
DR chipper will do a heavy wood, a soft wood. I've done cherry, hollies, oaks. It does the job, and that's basically what people are going to put their money up. That's what they want. Something's going to do the job and do a good job, and that's DR.
You can try out a DR chipper for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-309-0606 for your free DR chipper catalog and video. There's no obligation, so call now. 1-800-309-0606.
Now, from your weather today, here's your local forecast, always on the 8th of the hour.
Currently in your area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your forecast. On Sunday, we'll have temperatures in the high 60s with thunderstorms. Expect fair skies on Monday and Tuesday.
Let's go back in time on this date. Back in 1986, a powerful storm system spawned 10 tornadoes across Texas. One of these, rated an F3, destroyed the town of Sweetwater. One person was killed and 100 were injured.
Those dry-line thunderstorms that fire up in West Texas can just be or spawn incredible supercells, as was the case just a couple of days ago.
That's right. We're looking at the possibility of some severe weather today as well.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It's about 20 minutes past the top of the hour. And yes, we're going to be reminded of the transition season that we're in right now come this weekend into early next week. This morning in New England, we've got the maritime flow off the Atlantic. Fog is built in, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. But later in the weekend, as the front moves through, it's going to bring in a continental air mass, a drier air mass from Canada, and that's going to reestablish cold temperatures in the Northeast. Boston today, you're going to feel the change of the seasons too. One of the things that's going to happen here is we've got fog right along the immediate coast over by Logan Airport. We've got about a half-mile visibility, temperatures in the 50s, and to the west, as you get in a little higher terrain west of the city, we could top out in the 80s today in advance of that front. So it's an interesting weather scenario, but it's one that's also volatile. So keep an eye to the sky this afternoon. Thunderstorms are going to be developing in the area in New England, the Northeast, into the Ohio River Valley after another day of very warm air temperatures, although we don't think there'll be records in New York or in Boston. Could be close in Washington, D.C. Atlanta, you're going to be close to a record too. Record's 89 for today. You tied one yesterday. And in Miami, no records, just a lot of sunshine for the beachgoers here. Now, if you're heading to Texas today and northeast of here, there could be severe weather. Here's Dr. John Scala.
And Marshall, the severe weather right now continues across across Missouri. Severe thunderstorm warning for Saline County continues until 7:45 local time. Now, a spotter has reported nickel-sized hail in Sweet Springs. This storm has had a history of large hail and winds as high as 82 miles per hour. That was reported at the Topeka Airport earlier this morning. Well, this storm system that I'm watching right now, this complex, originated right back here in Kansas. Now watch what happens over the last several hours. It develops a bow echo and then streaks rapidly across I-70 heading towards St. Louis. Well, let's take a look at the radar out of Kansas City. We'll pull that up for you here and see exactly what this looks like over the last couple of hours here. It's already developing this bow-shaped signature indicative of strong winds, and then it moves rapidly east right along I-70. So Saline County, you're located right here. You have that warning in place. And right in the path of the storm would be Howard County. So the possibility here of some very strong winds and some hail looms in the near future for you in Howard County. And this is going to continue to move east on I-70. If it were to hold together, it may get into St. Louis by late morning to, say, early afternoon. There will be a stronger thunderstorm potential as well in the northeast today. We're already seeing some of this activity organizing from Buffalo down towards Pittsburgh and now south and east of Columbus, Ohio. Now, this area will be increasingly unstable today, with warm temperatures and dew points flooding back into the northeast. So we're going to be concerned for severe weather for you as well, particularly upstate New York and down towards the Ohio Valley. Let me move that right on down into Ohio, western Pennsylvania, perhaps north of D.C., I think northern New Jersey, maybe southeastern Pennsylvania. We'll have to watch this later on this afternoon. And I wouldn't eliminate the potential for some isolated severe right on down eastern Virginia, down into the eastern Carolinas, where the dew points will actually be pooling later on this afternoon. So there's a potential in that region as well. Well, there's the weekend forecast to consider, and here's Kelly with the details.
Well, we are looking at cooler air moving into the northeast just in time for the weekend, and we're also looking at some stormy weather too over the next couple of days. We'll talk about it here in our jet stream flow. We have that big trough in the west keeping it cooler than average, and it's going to pretty much be cooler than average around the Great Lakes in the northeast as we head toward the beginning of next week. After experiencing 80s and 90s, we are in for, I think, a little bit of a shock to the system, and then another shot of cold air comes down across the plains by the middle of next week. So watch out today. Again, the possibility of severe storms from Oklahoma all the way into upstate New York. There could be some damaging winds and large hail, and of course lightning and heavy rain always a threat here. We're also looking at some scattered rain showers across the Tennessee Valley and the Ohio Valley, keeping in mind temperatures cooling down all the while, and there's that possibility of strong storms from Oklahoma stretching into parts of Tennessee. Watch out in the Nashville area and Memphis area. Even as we get into Sunday, we're still looking at the possibility of some strong storms in this region. Look what we're showing up on the map now. Some light snow across the Dakotas and into the upper Midwest. Minneapolis, you had 80s and 90s earlier this week. Well, it looks like only 30s on Sunday with the possibility of some snow and even some rain or snow showers heading into Detroit for your commute back to work on Monday. Even some snow being picked up here in the Northeast. That's certainly a possibility. Of course, we'll take any precipitation we can get in the Northeast, be it rain or snow, to help out those reservoirs and the